So the question is music behaving in a certain way, or is our brain constructing it in a certain way? And the answer to the question is yes. So let me elaborate. This is actually a really good variant on a sort of basic nature versus nurture question, right? Is there something about the physical reality that is a certain way, or is there something that we as humans have learned or acculturated that makes us think of it in a certain way? And the answer to that question is probably that it's a little bit of both. However, there is very good evidence to suggest that it might be mostly acculturation. In other words, if you grew up in the West hearing music that behaves in a certain way all your life, you come to be acculturated to that music doing a certain thing, and then you develop expectations around that certain thing. On the other hand, we do know, if we study the physics of acoustics, that pitches have a fundamental pitch. That's the pitch that you hear, but that along with that fundamental pitch, there are other less audible, much less loud, for lack of a better word, additional frequencies. And those additional frequencies are not hearable usually as separate frequencies, but rather the combination of all those frequencies taken together we hear as something called timbre. We hear it as like the nature of the sound of the instrument. So there is something about the physical world that suggests that there is a fundamental pitch whenever we're hearing one note. And so the question then becomes, is our brain evolved to understand the physics of sound in that way? There are a lot of cultures the world over that have this idea of one most important pitch. How they achieve that, or how they bring out that one most important pitch, is pretty widely variable in various cultures, but the idea is still present in various cultures. So the answer to the excellent question is, it's probably a little bit of both.